Good afternoon, I'm Siobhan Caulfield with Hunter News. A parliamentary inquiry looking into controversial planning decisions in Newcastle has called for rail services to be immediately reinstated into the city centre. It's one of 9 recommendations in a report released this morning. The inquiry also found Hunter Development Corporation General Manager Bob Hawes had a significant conflict of interest in being a landowner at Wickham and having a major role in the government's decision to cut the rail line. However, the Independent Commission Against Corruption recently advised the inquiry it would not be pursuing the matter. Charlestown MP Jodie Harrison is welcoming Labor's commitment to abolishing the chemotherapy co-payment for all patients in New South Wales public hospitals. Labor will provide $6.2 million to ensure chemotherapy is free of charge for patients to ease the financial burden experienced by those affected. Jodie Harrison says people need support through this difficult time.
At a time when cancer patients are struggling and quite emotional about their own health, and their families are struggling with it too. What this announcement will mean is that there won't be the additional impost of co-payments of up to $180 per treatment.
Traffic police are expecting less deaths on the road thanks to massive infrastructure projects in the Hunter. While fatalities were at a low last year, improvements being made to the roads with the opening of the Hunter Expressway and spending on the Pacific Highway are set to bring the numbers down further. Other factors including education and engineering of vehicles are also necessary in reducing the road toll. A protest is being held outside Parliament House today by early childcare educators of the Hunter. The Community Childcare Cooperative are conducting a cake stall to show the government the length some preschools must go just to stay open. CEO Leanne Gibbs says families are paying too much for their children to be enrolled in preschool.
We're actually asking the New South Wales government to invest more in early childhood education, and this is a great opportunity to ask for this in the lead up to the election, because New South Wales has the lowest level of investment and the lowest level of preschool engagement as well. Families have to pay too high a fee.
Plans on new cycleways and walking paths across the region was announced by Newcastle Liberal candidate Karen Howard this morning. With more than 380 walking and cycling paths funded statewide by the Baird government, the paths will aim to better connect local communities through the almost $1.4 million project. President of the Newcastle Cyclist Movement, Peter Lee, says more funding is required for the project.
1.375 is a welcome contribution, but to be realistic for the state government to achieve any significant improvement in cycling, they're going to have to start taking it far more seriously, start contributing. We're asking for $75 million to get the significant improvements we expect.
Now with sport, Georgia Moylan.
The Newcastle Jets will showcase a fatigued side in their match against Sydney FC at Hunter Stadium on Friday. Recent departures by key players and injuries in the Jets camp have left a core squad of only 17 players for this week's match. However, Ben Kanorowski and Andrew Hull will return to the side following suspensions that saw them sit out on the Jets' 0-0 draw against the Central Coast on the weekend. Knights coach Rick Stone could leave a few players disappointed when he announces his side for the club's season opener against the Warriors on Saturday. Sione Matautia and Joey Leilua are both hot contenders to become Dane Gagai's centre partner in the match after impressive seasons last year. Stone says the choice between the pair will not be an easy one.
They're two quality players, and one of the things you're asked to do as a coach is just get your best 17 players out there as often as you can and get them in the contest.
And Mayfield boy Lorcan Redmond will head to the National Youth Triathlon Championships on the Sunshine Coast next week to defend his national title. That's sport. I'm Georgia Moylan.
2NURFM News Time is coming up to 12:10.